From the earliest days of human civilization, sea creatures have had a profound impact on society. Ancient civilizations like those of Egypt, Greece, and Rome had a deep connection to the sea. The Egyptians, for instance, revered certain sea creatures such as fish and crocodiles, which they associated with their gods and religious practices. Fish were considered sacred, and they were often depicted in art and myth. In Greek mythology, the sea was home to many creatures like Poseidon, the god of the sea, who controlled water and all the creatures within it. Romans also relied heavily on the sea for transportation and trade, making sea creatures vital for their economy. Additionally, sea creatures were vital for the survival and economy of these early civilizations. Ancient people relied on the sea for food, trade, and transportation. Fish and shellfish were common staples in their diets, and the sea provided an essential means for trade and travel. The Mediterranean, in particular, was a hub of sea life that sustained cultures for centuries. Whales have long been essential to human culture and history, especially in terms of trade. During the early periods, whales were hunted for their blubber, which was used to make oil for lighting lamps. In fact, whaling became a major industry in countries like Norway, Japan, and later the United States. Whale oil was so valuable that it became a significant part of international trade by the 17th century. Whaling also contributed to the growth of the maritime industry, creating jobs and spurring technological innovations in shipbuilding and navigation. Whalebone was also highly prized, especially for use in fashion and domestic goods. The historical significance of whales goes beyond their material contributions. They were also a symbol of human ingenuity and perseverance. Over time, the intense whaling practices led to a depletion of whale populations, raising awareness about conservation and the delicate balance of nature. This depletion eventually sparked international treaties aimed at protecting whale species and ensuring their survival. Throughout history, the disappearance of sea creatures has shaped ecosystems and human behavior. The dodo, a flightless bird from the island of Mauritius, is one of the most famous examples of extinction. While not a sea creature itself, its extinction was caused by human activity, including the introduction of invasive species that disrupted local ecosystems. This event helped spark early awareness about human impacts on nature, and it remains a cautionary tale. Extinctions of sea creatures, such as the passenger pigeon and the Atlantic cod, were similarly influenced by overfishing and environmental changes, leading to a shift in public awareness. Similarly, sea creatures like the passenger pigeon and Atlantic cod were once abundant, but have either become extinct or endangered due to overfishing and human expansion. These disappearances have had lasting effects on marine ecosystems and the environment. Today, they serve as reminders of the fragility of life and the need for sustainable practices to protect our oceans. Modern efforts to preserve endangered species draw directly from the lessons learned from past extinctions. Sea turtles have been revered in indigenous cultures for centuries. In places like the Pacific Islands and among Native American tribes, sea turtles were symbols of longevity, wisdom, and the connection between the land and the sea. Turtles were also essential to the survival of many indigenous communities. For example, in the Pacific, they provided food, and their shells were used to create tools and ornaments. In many cultures, the arrival of sea turtles was seen as a spiritual event, linking humans to the deeper forces of nature. In some cultures, sea turtles were part of spiritual rituals and mythology. Their migration patterns were seen as a way of connecting the Earth's energies, and their longevity symbolized resilience. The historical significance of sea turtles is not only cultural but also ecological, as they play a critical role in maintaining healthy marine ecosystems by controlling jellyfish populations and helping coral reefs thrive. These ecological roles also highlight the interconnectedness of the planet's systems, demonstrating how the health of marine life impacts all aspects of the environment. Coral reefs, often referred to as the rainforests of the sea, have had a significant role in shaping human history, especially in coastal communities. Coral reefs are home to an incredible diversity of marine life and have supported fishing communities for thousands of years. They have provided shelter and food for various fish species, supporting global fish markets that are crucial for human consumption. Coral reefs also act as natural barriers, protecting coastal communities from storm surges and erosion. Beyond their economic value, coral reefs have been important to cultures around the world, especially in Polynesia, where they have been central to the development of navigation techniques. Ancient Pacific navigators used the stars, ocean currents, and the position of coral reefs to travel across vast distances. The historical significance of coral reefs extends beyond their ecological role. They were integral to survival and expansion of human societies, especially those near the coasts. As coral reefs are increasingly threatened by climate change and human activity, their history serves as a reminder of the vital role they play in protecting both nature and human communities. In modern times, sea creatures continue to shape our history, especially in conservation and marine research. Overfishing, pollution, and habitat destruction have caused declines in marine populations, prompting global efforts to protect ocean life. Today, animals like sharks, whales, and sea turtles are symbols of marine conservation, with many organizations working tirelessly to safeguard their habitats. The discovery of oceanic ecosystems, such as hydrothermal vents, has also expanded our understanding of marine biodiversity. The historical importance of sea creatures is now being recognized in a new light as key players in preserving biodiversity and mitigating climate change. For example, coral reefs act as carbon sinks, and whales help regulate the marine ecosystem by maintaining the balance of food chains. Understanding the role of sea creatures in today's world is critical, as their health directly impacts the future of our oceans and the entire planet. As conservation efforts continue to grow, there is hope that future generations will better understand and protect these invaluable marine resources. If you found this video about sea creatures fascinating, be sure to like, subscribe, and keep exploring history with us.